I was thinking about healing today and how it happens very slowly and then all at once. And I think that's pretty cool. It's something that has kind of been on my mind. You know, when you learn how to read, or if you've taught a kid how to read, if you have a child of your own, or niece or nephew, neighbor's kid, whatever, if you've seen how kids learn how to read, it's ridiculously slow. They start by sounding out the consonants, right? The hard sounds that are a little bit easier for them to get to know. And then they start with the vowels, and then they put them together. And if you've ever watched a kid who's learning how to read a book, it's very slow. They sound out every word so slowly. And then there comes a point, though, where if you know how to read, you know that you just look at it and you know what it says. And that's kind of how learning how to read works, right? There's this point where everything clicks in your head and all this stuff that you've practiced just comes together just like that. And that really is how healing is. I'm really energized right now, in case you can't tell, because I had a couple really amazing sessions today with amazing clients who are putting in the work, they're doing the work, and they're seeing results. And it's always shocking when people see results, and then I remind them that they put in the work, right? So if you do the little things every single day, the little things, right? When you start to feel tense, you notice that, and you start to breathe, or you do whatever coping skill is working for you to ground you, to relax you, to bring you back to reality, to calm your emotions. Or if you need to feel your emotions, when you start to feel something, you stop, you allow yourself to feel it. With self-care, when you take care of yourself, when you do something as simple as taking an extra long shower, spending 5 more minutes in the shower, right? And feeling the water touch your skin, and just taking those 5 minutes to focus on how each water droplet feels as it touches your skin. When you take the time to brush your teeth every night, or every morning, or every night and morning if you're fancy. Just kidding, you should do that anyway. But if you're taking the time to really take care of yourself in the ways that aren't fun, right? We're not talking about going and blowing lots of money on clothes. We're talking about the basics. But these are the things that add up. You are taking care of yourself in these tiny little ways. And people have a hard time believing this when they're in the thick of it. If right now you're in the thick of it and you're crying yourself to sleep every night, and you cannot get past this traumatic thing that happened, no matter when it happened, it could have happened last week, it could have happened 30 years ago, but it still has a hold on you. You're in the thick of it. It's really hard for you to listen to me and hear me say, take 5 minutes in the shower and you'll be healed. It's not that easy, right? It is that simple, though. I want you to know it is that simple. It's the little things that add up. And if you don't believe me, that's okay. You can still try it, right? What harm is there in trying, adding a little self-care to your day? What harm is there What harm is there in taking 5 minutes when you wake up and taking really deep breaths? The diaphragmatic breathing, those really cleansing breaths in through your mouth and out through your nose, or vice versa, however you want to do it, right? But that you're getting those deep cleansing breaths. There's so many things that you can do that are so simple. And I can help you figure out those coping skills, right? They're different for everybody. You know, someone told me they play with their kids. They play imaginary. They play pretend with their kids because it's not something that comes easy to them. So when they play pretend with their kids, it takes a lot of their mental energy to actually play pretend with their kids. That's great, because what that means is they're using their mental energy. They're draining themselves of this mental energy that they could be thinking about the problem, but they're focusing on their kids, and they're putting their attention, and they're being mindful, and they're playing with their kids. And then they're exhausted afterwards, and they don't have time to think about the thing that's bothering them. So there's all sorts of things that can be very specific to you, whether you've got kids, you don't have kids, you like certain things, you don't like certain things. There's so many different coping skills that we can figure out, but I just wanted to come on and say that those very small things add up. They add up. They really do. You know, sometimes we can have a memory and it will make us feel a certain way. And sometimes it has to do with songs. I was I just got somewhere, and while I was driving, a song came on that in the past, in the pretty recent past actually, has brought up a lot of feelings for me. It's a song that it just brings up uncomfortable feelings about a situation that I was in, and it's there's some grief attached to it, right? And the song came on, and I was kind of blown away. I'm like, wow, I don't associate that with that song anymore, you know? Like, now I was listening to the song, and I kind of had this like sweet feeling about a memory that brought me grief before, but now it's kind of sweet. And obviously not every memory is going to be sweet, but there can be aspects of a very terrible event, and there can be aspects of a very terrible memory that are sweet to you, even if it's just having that compassion for yourself. You know, the whole memory could be crap, it could be terrible, but you look back and you see yourself, and you see yourself going through that, and your heart goes out to yourself. You have compassion for yourself. So these things that used to just take you under, they don't have to take you under anymore. They really don't. You can change, you can heal, and a lot of people are proof of that. People have healed, people have changed, and I bet you if you asked all of them, you would find the common denominator is the little things that they did. So do something little today for yourself, and then be consistent with it. We don't water a plant once a month and expect it to live unless it's a succulent, right? Succulents can do that. Most plants, you don't water them once a month. You don't water them once a year and expect them to live. You water them every single day or once a week, but you're consistent, right? Get out there, start doing something consistent. You are worth it. Absolutely, you are worth it. And I'm gonna go do my consistent thing, which is the gun range. I'm at the gun range. I'm gonna go get some shots off, and that's kind of a de-stressor for me. So it's one of my coping skills. And when I say coping, I mean like things that we practice on a regular basis. I don't have to be stressed out to practice a coping skill, but it sure helps if I've practiced a coping skill that when I do get stressed out, I don't have to practice, right? Like, I'm doing something that I already know. So that's the key to consistency. Get out there, do something for yourself.